This is The Speaking Show. I'm David Newman, and you're tuned in to the #1 podcast for speakers, consultants, and experts who want to speak more profitably. I am here with Alysa Rushton, Queen of Awesomeness. Get clients with speaking. That's where you want to go right now. Don't even waste a second. Just get your butt over to getclientswithspeaking.com while you're listening to this, unless you're in the car, in which case just keep your hands on the wheel. Alysa, welcome.
David, thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to be here with you this morning. Oh my gosh.
So let's talk about get clients with speaking, because that's your thing right now. I'll talk about your next thing, because that's pretty exciting also. But how did you come to that? Because you have this great background in sales, you have this great background in coaching and speaking, and you're kind of like this purple unicorn that has this amazing background that supports this business. Take us back to the beginning of how you launched your entrepreneurial journey.
Kalem. Well, David, what happened was I started out in corporate sales training for a Fortune 100 company. Man, I love that job. It was fantastic. I trained people on presentation skills and speaking skills and really high-end sales skills. And I loved it. It was absolutely one of the best jobs I've ever had. Then I got promoted because I was so good at it. I got promoted into the corporate cubicle of death. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I've heard of it, and that might be a great hashtag, corporate cubicle of death.
Hashtag totally. When what happened to me was I got really, really sick in that corporate cubicle of death, had to leave corporate America, and had a bad health crisis. In fact, I actually had a near-death experience where I died and came back, fortunately. Yay me. And what happened when I came back is I realized that actually the food that I put in my mouth was important to me and the thoughts that I thought were very important to me. So I changed up everything and I decided that I love the food piece of it so much and the thought piece of it so much that I became a holistic nutrition health coach. So naturally, you get your certificate as a holistic nutrition health coach and you say, well, what do I do to go out and get clients? For me, it was a no-brainer. I went out and just started speaking everywhere that would have me. David, anywhere that would have me, I would speak. Can you imagine?
I can. Believe me, I can.
David, here was my problem that I ran into is because of my background as a corporate sales trainer, people actually had to show up to my events at corporate. They were paid to show up and their little bottoms in the seats for 2 weeks at a time. And at sales summits, 2,500 people out there and I'm on stage, they were paid to be there. And all of a sudden now I'm trying to fill my health coaching practice and go out and speak. And what I really quickly realized is I don't know what I'm doing. I can speak, but I had no idea how to actually translate that into dollars. And I got a couple lucky clients right off the bat, but I really had to learn that there is a different way of speaking in a corporation versus how to speak in order to attract a client and actually get them to want to hire you and take out their wallet and pay you money and keep working with you. So that was my journey. And then what happened was I figured that out as a health coach. And of course, all my health coaching buddies said, Alysa, what the heck are you doing? Why do you have a waiting list of clients? Why are you actually making money? Why are you not absolutely broke like we are? And I said, well, I'm speaking. And I remember one day, it was a pivotal day. A friend of mine said, you've got to actually put this program out there. You were a corporate trainer. I know you know how to write a program. So just make the program already and help other people do what you're already doing. So that's how Get Clients with Speaking was born. And now that is what I do. So it was a bit of a journey, David.
So this is so great because, you work with a lot of speakers and experts and coaches. I would say, and benchmark me on this in case I'm just blowing smoke here, the folks that do the most good, right? The healers, the wellness people, the health coaches, the therapists, they're almost famous for being terrible at marketing. Like these are like the most reluctant, the most gun shy. Oh, I can't be salesy. I'm a therapist. I'm a professional. I studied really hard to master my craft and get my certifications. And some of this like marketing and sales and speaking stuff, some people, they even feel it's beneath them or it's dirty or it's nasty. And so how do you overcome that mindset? And then how do you help your clients and your audiences overcome that mindset?
I love this question, David, because you're absolutely right. You totally nailed it. That category of people that you just said have a certain way of thinking about selling and marketing. And I just recently did a training about this, and I'm going to do one actually this week again. But what happens is they're actually in just a bad habit of thinking. Okay, so bear with me on this for just one second because I know you believe the same thing. But all they've done is just create a negative association in their mind with selling when really what they're doing is they're depriving the people that they're going to be able to help the most. They're depriving them of working with them because they're so reluctant to being out there and talking about their marketing and their messaging. And this I find happens with most of the clients I'm working with today is that they have made some sort of weird negative association with email writing, marketing, making Facebook Live videos, actually getting out there and speaking when all they really have to do, and to answer your question, what do I get them to do differently? Is I get them to get on board with the actual vision of their business and make a different neurological association. And can I just explain how this works really quick? Do you mind?
I'd love you to, yes.
All right. I live in the most glorious area right next to two five-star hotels. Now, usually what I do is I roll up to one of the hotels, I drop the keys off at the valet, I pop them $5 because it's free parking, but you still have to tip them. You don't have to, but I do. And then I walk down the stairs, I walk in through the front lobby, I walk down the stairs and go out and swim in the ocean. I walk down and I swim in the ocean. Now, the other day, I was driving there with a friend and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm going to roll up to the valet." She said, "No, park in the parking." I said, "Wait, there's a gate there." She said, "Oh, it's a fake gate. You just pull up to the gate and it opens for you." Well, okay. So I pull up to the fake gate. It opens for me. I drive in. I park right in the front row. She says, "I'm going to take you this really cool way." So she takes me through this way that's a beautiful atrium with the most glorious fountain, and then another beautiful atrium, and yet again, a more beautiful waterfall. And it's the most beautiful way to walk in through this hotel, but it's really kind of convoluted. And I'm walking in thinking, how am I going to ever remember how to get out of here or how to get back in? you know? On my second time by myself, I did get a little lost, but on the third time when I did it, I knew exactly where I was going. So, my point here is it doesn't take your brain very long to make an association, to map out all the steps. What's happened with most people is they made a very early on association with sales and selling that was negative. It's akin to, this is a horrible way to walk in the hotel. I'm not going to do that. And really, all they need to do is remap that association. And how I get them to do that is through this beautiful exercise where we get them thinking about their business, the elevated emotions of their business, plus the intention of their business. I have them visualize a symbol for their business. Put that all together. We do a little bit of visualization. And do you know what happens, David, when we do that?
They start to
Something
think differently about their business.
they do. It's almost like someone slipped them a magic pill in their sleep and they start taking different actions and doing different things. But we have to just start thinking about it differently. We literally have to think greater than the way we're feeling about something.
But this is so key. This is so huge because you take all the traditional sales techniques that work just less and less effectively every day. Cold calling, spamming people, sending out 10,000 postcards, spamming your entire network on LinkedIn. And you say, "Hey, don't worry, gang. I have a much higher value, much more effective way to get your message in front of your prospects and clients, and it's speaking." And I'm sure that your clients initially go, "Yay, no more cold calls, no more spam, no more nonsense." And then you say, "Well, here's how to do a presentation. Here's how to get on stage. Here are the things that you do in the right sequence, in the right way to make a compelling offer." So people run up to you at the end and go, "I have to work with you." And then they have a whole other set of head trash that goes, "Oh, well, no, I just thought this was speaking. I didn't know I have to make an offer. I didn't know I have to invite people to something. I didn't know I have to add extra value at the end of my talk. And now they get all gun shy and crazy about that. So how does that work?
Well, I love your phrase, the head trash, because that is my job, is head trash removal. Chief head trash removal officer is what I'm going to rebrand myself as, because David, that's the truth. You can format your talk in the perfect way, but at the end of the day, if the person isn't on board with it doesn't work. And here's the thing I know. I was talking to a client the other day and she was telling me about her talk and talking about it. And I was just about as unexcited as one could possibly humanly be. And I said to her, what would it take you for you to actually feel excitement about what you're telling me? And she looked at me like a deer in headlights, with a hoot. You guys can't see me, but I literally have deer antlers up here on my head. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, you've got to be enthusiastic about this. And David, to answer your question, the one thing I find is if we can inject our energy, our enthusiasm about what it is, it will change us. And if we can keep our focus on why we're doing this, which is our audience. Listen, it's not about you. You might think it's about you, but it is not about you. It is not about you selling stuff. It's not about you. It's about you showing up, serving your audience, inspiring them, getting them into a different action. Because let's face it, if they were taking the actions they should be taking, then they wouldn't be sitting there. Can we agree on that?
Totally.
Right?
Totally. Well, and you know what? I talk about this in a sales conversation, but I'm guessing it's equally important in your work. I said, okay, let's talk about a sales script. You can take the world's greatest sales script that's made millions and millions of dollars for people, and you can stumble and fumble through it very mechanically, filled with fear, filled with trepidation, filled with hesitation. And prospects and audiences can smell that like a dog can smell hamburger. You can take an imperfect script, or in fact, no script, have the belief, have the enthusiasm, have the attitude of service, have the attitude of being helpful and generous, and people will flock to you and buy from you. When people say, well, David, what's the perfect script? There is no perfect script. What's the perfect attitude? What's the perfect mindset? Now we're having a conversation. And so tell us about the structure that you teach. Obviously, the mindset has to be driving that. You can have the world's perfect structure and you're not bought into it, and your audience will never be. What are some mind hacks that kind of rewire that in people's brains so that they're looking at this the right way?
Beautiful. Well, first, David, I want to say you're spot on because I get that same question. What should I say right here? I don't freaking care what you say right there. And neither will your audience. And at the end of the day, it is 1,000% about the energy that you carry. And let me give you a great example of this for your audience. I'm a golfer. And if you've ever been to a sporting goods store looking for a new putter, what do you want that putter to do? You want it to help you sink more putts. But you're going to buy the putter that the nice man at the golf shop says, oh my gosh, you're going to love this putter. The grip is so amazing. And you're going to feel his energy and you're going to feed off his excitement for it. And of course, you're going to whip out your wallet and pay $400 for the new putter. You're not even going to care because of the fact that he's jacked up about this. And if he's jacked up about this, you know it's going to help you sink more putts. And at the end of the day, people buy your energy. In fact, David, there is a company, a research company called Heart Math. Heart Math. Have you heard of them?
I have not.
Heart Math actually measures, they have a measurement tool to measure the energy your heart puts out, the energy that your heart radiates. By the way, their equipment is great, but it only measures up to 8 feet around your body. So literally their equipment can't measure out any farther than that. But they believe if they had better equipment that the measurement would go farther. What they know is that your energy from your heart, aka your excitement or your fear or your enthusiasm or your total lack thereof or your absence of self-confidence comes through on their measurement tool. David, can you believe this?
That's pretty crazy, frankly, but I mean, it makes perfect sense. I'm not a scientist, but I'm guessing it's a combination of heat signature and maybe movement, air movement around you, the way that you move your body, the way that you move your hands, perhaps. It could be just variations and fluctuations in your heart rate about enthusiasm, excitement, and so forth. And who knows what, it could be part magic too, for all I know.
And it's magnetics. You actually have magnetics in your body.
Yeah.
So literally, I really want you guys to hear this today. Literally, you are emanating a magnetron of your heart. If you feel excited about what you're doing, if you feel excited about your product, if you feel excited about your service, your audience is going to get magnetized to that. It's like you are a magnetron magnet just attracting your people in, sucking them in, and they cannot resist you is the thing. They cannot resist you, even if they try. So here's my tip for people is to do this. If you're struggling with the sales aspect, if you're struggling with selling your product, all you really need to do is fall in love with what you're selling. Don't sell that product. You sell the love. You sell that feeling. You sell how much you love it. You talk about that. You let the audience feel that. And guess what's going to happen? Your bank account is going to reflect that feeling.
Totally spot on. Totally spot on. In my world, I have never seen that not work.
Right?
I certainly could not say it and articulate it as well as you just did. But when you look back on all the successful salespeople, all the successful speakers, all the successful leaders that we all look up to, that's what they do.
That's exactly what they do.
So let's pivot because I want to talk about your current business model. I want to talk about this next exciting thing that you're doing. And then we'll tell people how to get connected and stay connected to Alysa World because that's also super important. So right now, you are magnetizing folks into, you have an online program, you do some one-on-one coaching, you're doing some group coaching. Tell us what are the various distribution methods of your current business as far as kind of taking us behind the scenes of the Alysa Rushton empire?
Well, cool. I'm glad you asked me this question. David, as you well know, I live in Hawaii. It's a beautiful place to live. However, I am currently out in the middle of Pacific Ocean, in the farthest place they say to get to on the planet, one of the. So I decided to structure my business in a way that I could do my business from anywhere, which means that I've got several online programs. Get Clients with Speaking is one of them. Get Clients with Affiliates is another. Get Clients with Facebook is another. So it's all about people getting clients. I also have a program because I believe so strongly in energy. Having great energy and having a good vibration that you put out from your heart and your soul and your spirit impacts your sales. It's something that every business person needs to know. It's called Raise Your Vibration. And it's just a program where I teach you the tricks and tools and mindset shifts that I've personally used to, quite frankly, transform my life. As you well know, you don't go from a dead person to what I am now without picking up a couple hints along the way.
So that's fascinating. So I knew about the energy and vibration program. I did not know that you've expanded the empire to get clients with affiliates and get clients with Facebook. How did those come about and how are you managing those different profit centers without splitting your attention and going bananas?
That's a fantastic question, David. So what I believe, I'm a huge believer in the upsell and the downsell and the side sell. Because if you just have one thing to sell, it's a great place to start out. Everybody's going to start out with one thing. McDonald's did it. Starbucks did it. They sold their one thing, but then they added on. Don't try to do it all at once because you'll take a nosedive probably, right? But in this case, I love the upsell, downsell, side sell. So these products are different facets of getting clients. And you get offer that if you're in Get Clients with Speaking. And also if you say no to Get Clients with Speaking. So for many people, they might say, well, I'm not at that price point yet. Maybe I just want to dip my toes in the water. They would get an offer for Get Clients with Facebook because I can show you really quickly how to do Facebook posts. Yes, David, you are an example in that because not only are you my hero, you're a mentor and I watch everything you do always, always, always. Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then for get clients with affiliates, obviously that's not something that's for everybody. So that's an upsell because it's a special skill. You already have to have a product or a program that an affiliate could be engaged with. And it's all the tools and things and contracts and stuff that you would want for that program. Does that make
So
sense?
it makes a ton of sense. And I'm going to give you just a huge kudos because you've operationalized a key question that I think every speaker, every entrepreneur, every expert needs to embrace, which is you've developed a tribe and a following and get clients with speaking right now, even though we're going to talk about the next thing in a minute. That's the centerpiece right now, correct?
It is a centerpiece, but there's an upsell from that, which
Okay.
is a
But
mentorship program with me. Yeah.
but you've magnetized people around that. And then you
Yes.
ask the operational question, what else do these same people need? What else do these same people want? They want to go higher. They want to go further. They want some one-on-one. They want some private access. They want a mastermind. Great. They want something lower. They want something slower. They want to go in the slow lane. They want to kind of take it easy and start with baby steps. We got the baby step program, but it's what do these people that I have their attention? I've now done all this work and all this investment to earn their attention. Besides my flagship program or offer or speech or online course, what else do those same people want? Correct?
Exactly, David. I couldn't put it better myself. And that's the key is not to go out and try new things and attracting new people all the time. It's attract your tribe and figure out what else.
Hey, this interview is a real moneymaker. If you're serious about ramping up your reach and revenue as a speaker, trainer, or expert, book a confidential speaker strategy call with our team. The link is doitmarketing.com/call. It will be the most valuable 45 minutes you invest in your speaking-driven business. Speaking of value, let's get back to the show. Right. Okay. Now we got to spill the beans.
Okay.
Now we got to spill the beans. This is the part where it gets exciting. You are right smack in the middle of a major, super exciting pivot in your speaking business, coaching business, your entrepreneurial existence is about to go like huge, explode. Talk about some of the early fear of why that's happening just now instead of like a couple of years ago, and sort of how all of this is coming into play.
Okay, David, here's the real deal. I believe this is the case with a lot of people, and it's certainly the case with myself. When I came out of my near death experience, when I came out of my sickness, I saw a vision for myself. I saw what I was supposed to do. I saw what I was supposed to be talking about and speaking about and all of that. And yet I was scared to death of it. So I took an action, which I call a shadow career, which gives you all the feeling of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, all the juicy, wonderful feelings, except you're not actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Sadly, I do.
I'm sure so many
Intimately.
people can relate. So, what happened for me is I did my shadow career, and that was not fulfilling, which was my first health coach foray. And I did my speaking version of that, which, quite frankly, anytime I'm teaching people about speaking, because it's so near and dear to my heart, I'm always going to love that. I'm always going to have a program around speaking because I love it to my core. I grew up on a stage, and it would be just weird for me not to have a program about using your voice and using your message and getting out there in the way that you're supposed to. But now the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is kicking me to get this next program out there for the world, which is all about the tools that I use to go from a dead person, basically, into a vibrantly healthy, wonderfully happy, what I would call successful business person. And that's what I'm really being called to do because I do believe that it is a combination of clearing the, what did you call it, David? The mind trash?
Head trash.
clearing the head trash, as well as working your magnetron magnet in your heart. So it's putting the two together, your head and your heart. And it's something that I just believe so strongly in. And when I see people do this work, when I see people actually incorporate the head work and the heart work, what happens for them is nothing short of magnificent. And they actually go out and they make changes and they do their particular work in the world. And quite frankly, I think the world needs a little bit of an upgrade. And I know that it's my responsibility and my duty to help people understand that they truly are powerful beings, powerful creators, and can have anything that they want. They just need to learn how to do it. And quite frankly, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, David. I just want to warn you. We are the most powerful piece of technology on the planet. Nobody right now can replicate the human brain. Nobody can replicate the human eye. It cannot be done with technology and the most amazing scientists packed in a room together. So literally, you're the most important piece of technology. You're the most advanced piece of technology, yet you didn't come with user's guide. No one showed you how to work it, really, really work it. And that's what I know I'm supposed to do. I'm pivoting to do that. Now, again, I had the opportunity to do that back in 2012, but I've been on the run from it ever since 2012, David. But I will say this, because I know everybody has a different path. The lessons I've learned, for example, how to become an online marketer. For example, how to actually have a proper sales funnel. Because here's what I know, David, and I know you've seen this so many times, it'd make your head spin. You can have the most amazing program, life transforming. It's going to just, oh my God. But if nobody knows about it, if you're the best kept secret, then there's no freaking point in it. So even though I was on the run from myself and my message for a long, long time, I really actually feel at the end of the day, it's allowing me now to do all the things that I can do.
Yeah, no, totally. So can we spill the beans on new book, new brand, new global domination empire that's coming out?
Well, we can't spill the beans exactly yet because I don't have the ink firmly dry, but it is coming out. And what I am doing is I'm going to be doing a book, to your point, and a beautiful program that's really designed to help people get lit from within, to realize that they are the creator of their lives and truly that they can create any life that they want. You don't have to have the crappy ass life that you're having or the mediocre life that you're having or even the life that you're having and maybe it's pretty fantastic. You can create anything. Can I give you a quick example?
Sure, please do.
This is really a fun one and I kind of have to kick myself for this a little bit this morning. I was out late last night at a fun event and I wanted an extra hour's worth of sleep. I laid in bed and thought, I want an extra hour's worth of sleep. Then I didn't check my calendar because I had a meeting that I had to be up for. I promptly got up, got myself dressed and cute really quick, hustled. I had 15 minutes because I kept hitting the snooze button. And guess what? At the last minute, that meeting had popped off my calendar. And when I say the last minute, an hour before. So had I checked my phone, I could have gotten my hour's worth of sleep. So my point here is, David, that our words are really powerful. How we feel is really powerful. And how we actually do that, the state, the brainwave state and feeling state that we command our universe in is really important. And that's what I'm teaching. But it can be simple stuff. It can be big stuff. It can be housing. It can be locations to live. It can be bank account balances. You just have to know how to work it all together. But once you do, look out.
So, I want to acknowledge what the power of what you just said about sometimes we're playing too small. And even though what you've done currently is frankly huge and admirable, and a tiny, tiny percentage of people in the world could get to your level of success now, this whole kind of, I want to have a bigger impact, multiply it, expand my topic, expand my reach. My experience of this is the following. So I'll be on a mentoring call, I'll be on a coaching call, I'll be even on stage somewhere. And I'm a content speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker. So, you've seen me in action. It's very tactical, practical content. Like you, though, I get very excited and very passionate about certain aspects of this. And I'll go off on a 3-4 minute tangent. And then I'll bring myself back and I'll say, see that? I'm a motivational speaker. After all, I'm just disguised as a content speaker.
That's the truth.
And I'll tell you, I probably have said that about a dozen times in various ways, shapes, and forms. And now this thought is in my head, I'd be a pretty damn good motivational speaker too. Content speaker, marketing speaker, small business entrepreneurship speaker. That was my version. As much as I love it, as much as you love your current business, right? I'm thinking, well, gosh, there's a bigger game here. There's a broader impact here. And once you've said something to yourself about a dozen times, you should probably pay attention.
Amen,
there's probably
brother.
something going on there.
Something going on there. David, you are motivational. I'll tell you what, I've seen your story. I've watched you. You've been a mentor to me for a long time. And there's not a day goes by that you don't motivate me. So I know that no matter who you're talking to, you're motivating them, whether you like it or not.
Thank you. Well, I want to ask you two final questions. Question number 2 will be, how do people get connected and stay connected to you and all the fabulous resources that you might have to share? But before that, if people were to take one key idea away from our conversation today, what would you hope that key idea for them would be?
David, I would hope that people would understand that it is how you think and how you feel about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're selling, that has everything to do with your results. If your mind processes, oh, I can't do it. Oh, I don't know if this will work out. Oh, what if the worst happens? Then guess what? You are going to struggle. But if you are asking yourself, and I call this the what if up, what if down. So if you're saying what if, and you're going down, 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 but you can change that. You can what if up. You can say, what if this actually works out? What if I meet the coolest people like David Newman? What if I get to go and actually do my gifts in the world? What if my bank account increases? What if this is the most fun I've ever had?
We got to what if ourselves in a whole different way.
We do. We got to what if ourselves. So really, at the end of the day, I just hope people can take away that how you think and how you feel is everything. It doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter what you're talking about or what script you're reading. It's how you think. It's how you feel.
Fantastic. Now, what I think and what I feel is people need a whole lot more Alysa Rushton. So how do people connect with your world? What resources can we share with them? And we're going to put all this in the show notes, and people are going to download this and go crazy on it when they go to thespeakingshow.com. But let's give them a little prequel of what those goodies are and how they can get connected to you.
All right. Well, the first thing is, if you're using speaking at all for your business and you like to do what I've done, which is sell your stuff with a free talk, because I don't do what David does. David does awesome corporate and how to get actual paid speaking. I don't do that. I do free speaking. I do my zone of genius. So I show you how to actually sell a product or a program or a service with a free talk. So if that's your thing, if you want to learn more about that, go over to getclientswithspeaking.com and you can check out a really cool formula that I have for you. And we can stay connected like that. And if you are into vibration, if you're into raising your frequency, if you're into actually learning how to work your magnetron magnet inside your body, you can go to alysarushton.com and check out what I have for you there.
Go now. Do it. Go. Get the resources. Watch Alysa's videos. Get the cheat sheets. Get the goodies. You will thank me later. You will totally thank me later. Go get the stuff. All right, Alysa Rushton, you are awesome. I cannot wait to see this next big, juicy, amazing thing that you're going to create. And when it's publicly available and no longer government classified, you'll come back on the show?
I definitely will come back on the show, David. But just know, I'm just trying to be you when I grow up. So
same here. I'm trying to be me when I grow up. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, my friend. You're awesome.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Well, that wraps up another episode of The Speaking Show. Hey, tell you what, if you like us, rate us and review us on iTunes. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Go grab the notes and downloads and extras at thespeakingshow.com. See you next time.